playing blue-white control. Right now, Centauri was able to get the first game.
And that's the way that this matchup typically goes, in my opinion, is game one is really bad for Black Devotion because they have so many removal spells they have to draw. The post-board games become favorable for mono black because they get to cut their removal spells for duresses. So the matchup on the balance is a close matchup, but it's because game one blue-white control is a heavy favorite, and then post-board I think Black Devotion is a slight favorite.
Yeah, and it looks like Centauri is getting this game at the moment. Feline has some Thoughtseize, but her board is cleaned off right now. The Thoughtseize is going to find a Dissolve, as well as what looks to be a Blood Baron. Is that out of? Yeah, Blood Baron of Viscopa out of the sideboard of Centauri's deck. Last Breath, Supreme Verdict, Dissolve, and now she looks at a Detention Sphere and a Blood Baron. I don't think her mono black list can reasonably beat a Blood Baron, so I'm thinking she'll have to take it. And she does.
Yeah, I mean, the only out in the list is Devour Flesh, which assumes that those are even in the list, and even that doesn't work because Eric has a Mutavault ready to be animated.
Yeah, and this is going to be tougher. If you look at Feline sideboard, she is playing the full set of Duresses in her sideboard, but she has completely cut all the copies of Erebos, God of the Dead, from her list. And I think that's going to pay a bit of a price in this matchup.
This is a great matchup for Erebos. Even better than in the mirror match. I mean, this is the matchup where it really shines.
Yeah, as someone like when I play the blue-white side, what I think is unique about Erebos is most matchups, when you rev for 6, that is synonymous with winning the game.
It's over.
That's the game. I revved for 6, I won. And I think when an Erebos is in play is the only situation that regularly occurs in Standard where I rev for 6 and lose.
Sure. Because they can keep up with the cards and you're not getting the life.
If they have an Underworld Connections and an Erebos in play, and I rev for 6, I'm worried that they're going to do something like, play a Desecration Demon, hit me with Erebos, draw another card, and like almost kill me the next turn.
Right.
Thoughtseize away the Detention Sphere I drew off the rev. There's a bunch of things that are really bad that can happen.
And we talked earlier in the broadcast about, do you want to play the black list or the black splash green list? This is the matchup where it makes the most difference, in my opinion, because having Abrupt Decays that can tag Detention Spheres game one is a big upgrade over having Bioblights or Ultimate Prices or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, any matchup that's not aggro, the splash lists usually perform better. We see Centauri finally getting aggressive with some Mutavaults here, though not really necessary. The blue-white control deck doesn't ever really honestly look at its opponent's life total. And he's going to swing him in. And she'll trade, or attempt to. Last Breath will take care of the Mutavault. And it does look like Feline's going to pick up her first loss here. She was forced to take the Blood Baron, so we know that not only does she not have anything in play, but that Centauri also has a Dissolve in hand.
Ooh.
She can go Bioblade for the Mutavaults. If I'm Centauri, I just let it happen.
Yeah, you can't fight over this sort of stuff.
They're just Mutavaults.
Your favorite if the game goes long, so.
Yeah. They're just Mutavaults. The one card you actually have to fight over is Aetherling. He's in the deck somewhere. Gray Merchant cast for Feline. She has a chance. I mean, I think Centauri's going to have to let this resolve, and he probably will take some hits off it too.
Yeah. Eric has a ton of huge draws that just end the game on the spot, but Feline is greater than 0% to win this game.
Yeah, he does not. So any of his Jaces or Sphinx's Revelations will pretty much end it. He doesn't have any mid. He has Detention Sphere, Dissolve in hand. Right now he's on a 5-turn clock from this Gray Merchant. The best thing Feline can hope for is that this Gray Merchant will force a Detention Sphere of Centauri. And this is where Black's pretty good post-board. She cuts the Thoughtseize. That's going to get dissolved. It has to get dissolved. So yeah. It's trading with the Dissolve whether he wants it to or not. And this way he gets to scry, so might as well cast it. The danger Feline's waiting for is if he scries a card to the top, that's really bad.
Well, I think he scryed to the top with that scryer land last turn and didn't even look at his deck with the Dissolve, so.
That's bad for her. All right, Jace is going to go ahead and -2. If it finds a Revelation, stuff's out. That'll be it. Island, Sphinx's Revelation, and Temple. And that should be enough. This just hides. You can't have that one. The Rev should be good enough to get there. If Feline can top deck... Actually, if you're Centauri, you probably don't Detention Sphere to even protect your Jace here, just because if She draws a Thoughtseize. You want to be able to rev in response.
Yeah, this is the risk. I mean, it's now if he goes ahead and Detention Spheres here now, Duress or Thoughtseize, and I mean, Feline's still in a ton of trouble, but again,
Right.
she's got a shot.
Didn't hit it though, and now Centauri, the greedy play there pays off. Now he gets to have Jace and gets to have this rev. End step rev for everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's a lot.
There's no air, like I said, so since there's not Erebos in play, Sphinx's Revelation for 9 is pretty synonymous with win the game.
I mean, this is better than most Planeswalker ultimates that he's just done here, so
Yeah.
it should be good enough to win.
Yeah, she's drawn bunches of counter spells, multiple syncopates, Supreme Verdict. I don't think he found his Aetherling yet. I don't know if he needs to.
I suspect that it's not going to matter too much.
I mean, it's in his deck somewhere, right? If it's the very bottom card, and she's already here's the danger. If she's already Hero's Downfall both his Elspeths, and it's his very bottom card.
You can still just tutor for it with Jace.
Yes, then at some point he'll have to start plussing the Jace. I didn't say he's going to lose. Then he'll have to be heads up. Then he'll have to plus the Jace. There's not really anything. He just has to be careful.
Yeah, you do not want this game slipping away from you. So you still have to think about what the outs are, but
Yeah. One interesting thing else going back to his deck list is he is playing a card of M13. He's playing one of Aether Spouts in his deck. It's a card that I've been pretty interested in, and it'd be.
oh yeah.
Yeah, the matchup swords good. It's good.
Yep, it sure is. And I mean, if people are trying to beat you with, Boros Charm and Golgari Charm, backing up attackers, Aether Sprouts is awesome against that sort of plan.
Sure. It's like another sweeper, but a little bit different of a sweeper.
Well, it's a sweeper that's good in the spots where Supreme Verdict is bad. Or not all the time, but a lot of the time where Supreme Verdict is bad.
It gets around Hexproof, it gets around Flash, it gets around, and there's a lot of real good things to be said about it.
And Eric has just discarded a counter spell to hand size, which is not a good sign.
You just got a counter spell?
A syncopate, yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. I'd concede to and stuff. They're like, no, if you're discarding counter spells, I'm done.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't want to do this anymore. Woo, that's a lot of black. All right. Well, Feline will soon have to discard to having 8 swamps in hand if she draws one more.
Might as well play some of the swamps there in case you ever pack rat, but it does not matter too much in the scheme of things.
That's a lot of swamps to be drawing.
Yeah.
Not that really her draws matter at all at this point, but. All right, here's Downfall. As it gets to 8, here's Downfall. Yeah, will it resolve?
I like your chances.
Okay, so if I'm being the pure blue-white control player, part of me wants to just like let it happen. I have more Jaces.
Yeah. I don't technically need this.
I don't.
It doesn't technically kill me.
Right.
So I guess that resolves.
I mean, you might cast something else. I suppose. Yeah, I mean, what if?
I imagine that Eric here goes and gets a Duress or a Thoughtseize first, see what's going on, and then gets his Aetherling.
Yeah.
Ooh, Erebos.
Wait, there was an Erebos in here.
One in the main deck.
Oh, there's one in the main. Okay, I was just like, whoa, hold on. Okay, so there's one in the main, none on the board. Yep, he gets the Aetherling. And he's going to get her Whip of Erebos, it looks like. Sure. Okay.
Whatever you think will cause you to have the most fun.
I mean, if she manages to kill the Aetherling, he has Temples. He could whip back the Aetherling.
Yeah.
Extra insurance policy. Mono Black can't get the whip off the board once it's there. All right.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Not that it matters. None of this matters.
None of this matters.
It's all already happened.
None of this matters. But, yeah, just go get the card that you think will result in you having the most fun. That's how I would do it.
He didn't get anything. He got Blood Baron. Okay. That's all. I mean, okay. All the same. And she's got a fistful of swamps, and that will be the match. Eric Centauri, 2-0 defeats Feline Longmore.
Yeah, this matchup, again, not great game one for Mono Black Devotion, and Feline not bringing a ton to the table here post-board to help improve it. I mean, I guess the Night Veil Spectres, I'm not even sure she brought in. Those are okay. She does have the 4 copies of Duress.
Yeah.
Those are excellent, of course, but not having additional copies of Erebos is pretty rough.
It hurts. Yeah, 4 Duress. In fact, some people have been skimping on Duresses. I've seen like 3s and 2s. She's playing the full 4, so I really like that. Duress is, I can't state how good Duress is in this matchup.
I would never skimp on Duress if I was building this deck. I think that 4 copies of Duress and 1 Drown in Sorrow would be how I started the sideboard. The rest of it just get filled out however.
I mean, and she's very similar.